MyMac podcast 872, Nifty Gifties.
And welcome everyone to the MyMac.com podcast. And Gaz, it is the season of Black Friday madness. It's nearly here. And with it comes shouts of happiness and screams of, hey, that's my parking space at 3 a.m. to get a 50-inch off-brand 4K TV set from some unpronounceable Chinese manufacturer for $200. Well, we're better than that, aren't we? Well,
not in the UK, we're not.
Yeah, well, we're likely to buy better stuff anyway.
Black Friday prices now. Well, they're not Black Friday prices then, are they?
Yeah, it's like it's like early Black Friday. It's like, shut up. All you're doing is taking the stuff that you were going to mark down anyway and saying, well, we'll just do it a couple days early and pretend like it's a bargain.
It's pretend full stop, guy, now.
Yeah.
It's certainly in the UK. It's always been pretend in the UK. It's even more pretend now. It's winding us up very much in this household anyway.
Well, do they do the whole, we're going to have some bargains at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, because we've got the 24-hour Walmarts.
I don't know, and I don't care because I don't look out for it. Because if I'm honest, Guy, we kind of say over here, it's an American thing. It's got no point in being over here at all. They're just trying to use it as a commercial marketing ploy. That's all.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it used to have some actual reverence and meaning in the US, but here it's never had any meaning. You marketing
people.
I was going to say a nasty word.
Don't say that bad word. Don't make me do edits.
Yeah.
So what did you do over our little 1 week break?
Yeah.
Anything good?
I was going.
Oh wait, hold on. How's your head?
Oh. I've still got the bump. I still have the bump.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have the bump. So, obviously just 2 weeks ago, we did a podcast and I mentioned that I'd been knocked out unconscious. The more I think back, I was really knocked out, Guy. Absolutely. Because the following day on the Sunday, my coccyx was so painful. And actually, I'm still sore in that backside area, I can tell you. I must have gone down like a sack of spuds. I really went down solid, and the more I think about it, the more I was actually unconscious for a little while. Welcome
to my regular waking life.
yeah, but it's not normal for me, Guy. Okay, it's not normal
okay.
For
So
me.
See, you're just not used to it. After a while, it just becomes like second nature.
Anyway, the last weekend, I wasn't going to do any refereeing for obvious reasons, although I wasn't going to do any refereeing anyway because I'm supposed to be decorating. Hence the mess that is in the background. And it was even more of a mess last weekend. And I was going to do a podcast, but I really couldn't get round to it because I was so busy sanding floors, mainly. Sanding and varnishing floors, and now I'm doing painting, and it's looking good, but there's a lot of it. If you do the prep right, it makes the splashing on the paint so much easier, but boy, the prep sometimes takes a long time. So,
I like to do them in reverse order.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can really imagine. I can see in the background exactly what you're saying.
Why are you putting varnish on the paint? Well,
Yeah. It makes it harder to get off. That's why, because then you can't get it off. So Why do it? Why do it at all? And I've been busy doing a little bit of work. I've actually had an interview this week, Guy.
Oh, nice!
And I've got a follow-up interview next week. So
even
we
better.
Shall see. Well, maybe not. I've been kind of headhunted to a certain degree. For my experience in a certain application and also for previous experience and for the job role that I did previously. Yeah. And I haven't worked full time or even part time since February. Well, the end of February, March. Do you know, Guy? I'm kind of getting used to it. So,
You see, when my wife retired like 7 years ago,
yeah.
what she told me at the time, and she does not listen to this show, which is why I'm saying this, is that, oh, well, they wanted me to go out to corporate headquarters, which was so much farther, and I want to find a job that's closer to home. 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm doing a bit of volunteering work and a little bit of, cash in hand work, just for a bit of pocket money, really. And I've kind of been enjoying doing what I'm doing when I do it, if I do it, if I want to do it. And
exactly.
it's yeah. So I'm gonna have a bit of a conversation with them. I've already laid the lawn out, saying, look, I've got used to a much more relaxed life. And after COVID, I've used COVID as a little bit of an excuse as well, working from home and all that sort of stuff. And, possibly doing part-time. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I've really got to decide whether I want the job or not. Because if I'm honest, I think they'd give it to me tomorrow because I'm a bit of a rare breed for them and they need someone urgently. So, I'm gonna play the game and see how I get on. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but speaking of rare breeds,
yes,
that played into my weekend last week.
Go on.
Well, we went down to North Carolina,
right,
for that Jimmy Buffett play.
Yes,
and it actually started off kind of a disaster.
Oh,
and I blame my wife, and I'll tell you why. We got into the car and we started driving, and we were like an hour into the trip when I realized she had forgotten to tell me to take my wallet with me. So her fault.
Yeah, definitely her fault. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that meant
what? And I bet you said, "Why didn't you tell me to bring my wallet?"
No, it was totally and completely on me. And the weird thing was, I had actually taken my wallet and the vitamins that I take, which is basically just a multivitamin and some magnesium, and they were both here on this computer table. And we had kind of a delayed exit. We were leaving a little bit later than I wanted to, so I was like, come on, let's get to the car. Rah, 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 rah. And then we get into the car, and I don't even remember why. Oh, it was because we were talking about vitamins and supplements and stuff like that. It was like, oh, did I remember to take them? And then I remembered that I had put them next to my wallet. It was like, did I remember to take my wallet? And I reached around in my backside, and it was like, no, the wallet's not there. And in theory, we could have just kept going. And I could have just, pulled the car over because Tracy had her license and she's an excellent driver. And she had credit cards and she had cash and all the rest of that. But
the way you said that, and she's an excellent driver.
She is an excellent driver.
That's good.
Yeah. Did you hear that, honey? And but the problem was there was going to be a lot of driving, and she doesn't typically like to drive as much as I do, and I'm a very kind of nervous passenger. I'm a twitchy kind of passenger.
So basically, you had to go back for your license.
I had to go back and get my wallet that I could, and so that added like 2 hours.
Oh my word!
Yeah, because we'd already gone an hour, so it was an hour back, and then
how long was the drive in total?
Drive in total with minimum stops is like between 4 to 5 hours. So that added like an extra 2 hours to it. Plus dealing with DC traffic.
An extra 25% on the journey. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, no, more than 50%. Well,
no.
Yeah,
it
50,
was
yeah.
No, about a third more.
Oh, dear.
Because we went from 4 to 7. 4
anyway,
to 6.
Anyway, you came back. So did you make the Jimmy Buffett music? I suppose that was the next day, was it?
Well, yeah, because we got down there on Thursday, and then the play was Friday night in Durham. And I didn't realize how far away Durham was from Smithfield, which is where I told Tracy that seems to be like a middle ground of a place to stay, because it's not too far away from where her relatives are. It's not too far away from some of the stuff that we typically do while we're down there. The problem was Durham itself was like an hour and a half away, and I didn't realize that otherwise I would have said we're staying in Durham because that's what we spent so much time there the first couple days. We went and visited her friends. We went to the play. It was just like, why didn't we stay in Durham?
Good,
but we didn't. The facility that the play was at, they call it DPAC, which is Durham Public Arts Center, something like that.
Okay,
is very, very nice. A great place. The play itself.
Do they use Macs?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
You mean her relatives and friends? Some of them.
No. Just
I don't know about DPAC.
Well,
No, actually, I think there was a big sign outside of Durham that said "No Macs allowed." So it's like, we can't stay here then.
No,
just not going to happen.
Agreed.
So, but the play itself, which was Escape from Margaritaville, was the name of the play. If you like Jimmy Buffett music, you would have enjoyed it. If you didn't particularly like Jimmy Buffett music, you would have hated it.
Right. Do you like Jimmy Buffett music, guys?
I do like Jimmy Buffett music.
Did you enjoy the play?
I did. But there were like 3 couples that were involved in this play.
I don't think we need a full rundown.
No, just real. The problem with the play was the main couple, the one that the whole story kind of revolves around, is just not that interesting the way it's written. And the other 2 couples that are kind of on the side doing their thing was much more fun. Right. So, and also they took the lyrics to Jimmy Buffett's music and they were either doing it like super straight where, some guy's running around going, I can't find my shaker of salt. And people who like Jimmy Buffett music will know what that means. Or, or they would take things like, I can't find this and I've got this. And, if it was in the lyrics, characters were literally doing it on stage. So,
this week in playwright critiques, guy goes.
He sort of liked Escape from Margaritaville, but there's more to it than that. And if you've got another 20 to 25 minutes, he'll tell you all about it.
Well, like the last 20 to 25 minutes we're talking.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. It was okay.
Okay,
but what's this? Get to see lots of friends and families.
And what's this about you going to be rescued by a horse?
Yeah, well, I was falling off this cliff, and this horse just threw me. No, I'm kidding. There was one of Tracy's. Yeah, what? Were you kidding? One of Tracy's cousins volunteers at this horse rescue, and the horse rescue itself is going to be my pick of the week. So we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun, and like I said, it's going to be my pick. So if you want to donate to a good cause, listen to that later. And also, lastly, and this was just put in this morning, if you like eggnog and coffee, try them together for a Christmas treat.
So are you saying mix the eggnog in your coffee?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
That might explain a lot of the way I am. No, it doesn't. No. I'm just the way I am. That's
agreed.
Eggnog and coffee, not going to make any difference.
Should we move on to Gazzy snippets? Because I do have them, though they're not in the show notes, but I do have some.
Okay.
Gazzy snippets. You see, I just throw Gazzy snippets, and that sound just in any old place now.
Sure, why not? You could break it up. You'd be like Gaz's snippets, just to further confuse people. I'll shut up now.
Could you?
For now.
Yeah. This might well tie in with the second section this week, but apparently Apple has launched this year's holiday gift guide and helps customers to craft personalized holiday cards for friends and family.
I saw that.
Yippee. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually a keynote. It's a keynote presentation. It's a keynote file that has all the cards in it.
Would you like, these are snippets, Guy? All right. That was a jokey bit. Let's move on, please. Thank you. iOS. Apparently, the iOS 15.2 beta, we don't talk about betas normally, but this one apparently blurs nude images for kids using the Messages app.
Yeah, I won't be using that.
No, you won't be using the Kids app. Apple is to pay $30 million over retail store worker bag checks. I don't know if you remember back in the early teens, I think it was. Apple was stopping some of the staff from their retail stores on the way out and saying, no, we are going to hold you back for X period and we are going to check your bags and stuff. And actually, no, that's not overtime. Well, apparently they've been forced to. In fact, I think it was out of court. I think it was an out of court agreement from memory, and they're paying them about $1,000 or $1,200 each. I think that's off the top of my head.
If you're going to do something egregious like checking your employees' bags on their way out the door, you do that on your time, not their time. And it's bad enough that you're doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, well, it's not bad enough that they're doing it. I kind of get it. I do too.
But you know, it's kind of like saying, we love the fact that you work here.
Yeah.
But show me your papers.
Yeah, because we don't trust you one bit.
One iota.
Qualcomm apparently estimates Apple modems will account for 80% of iPhones by 2023. They're getting into the bit. They're going to own everything from start to finish soon. Well, wait, stuff.
I'm confused. Qualcomm, you talking about Apple's modems in their phones versus Qualcomm's modems in iPhones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're being cut out now.
Correct.
Qualcomm is good.
Qualcomm,
that's terrible.
Qualcomm currently supplies modem chips for all of Apple devices. Qualcomm said at an investor conference that it believes its phone chip revenues will expand in line with broader iPhone markets, despite Apple finding 80% of its modem chips from other suppliers, actually, it says. Anyway, Apple are rolling out new firmware update for AirPods and AirPods Pro. And there's a way to check for it, but I'm not going to go into that here.
Yeah, we just know that it's happening.
It's there. Do a search. Do a search if you need to understand how to find it. Apparently, Epic has called for a single universal app store, Guy. I can't think why they'd do that. I really can't.
Yeah, you mean a universal app store that they can determine what the terms are going to be?
Well, yeah, across iOS, Android, Xbox, PC, Nintendo, and Sony.
Yeah,
do you know what?
I can see that gaining traction with all those companies.
It's like I went to a play once, talking about plays, which you were earlier.
Yeah,
we went to a play which was the Thunderbirds play. I don't know if I've ever told you about it. And
I'd pay to see that.
And they weren't marionettes; they were people.
Yeah,
but they were acting like they were marionettes.
See, that's the part I'd want to see.
So they were walking out like
so great.
And they would, like, when they'd shoot, they were just aiming in the general direction of the other person, and the other person was then shot. It was absolutely brilliant. And I feel this is what Epic are doing now. They're just kind of waving the guns about, shooting bullets, trying to hit something. Brilliant.
A fantastic analogy. I like it.
Apple announces a self-service repair. Apple parts, tools, and manuals starting with iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 available to individual consumers. I've got something more on that a little bit later, but we'll come back to that. Apple has released 15.1.1, which I've actually updated while we were doing the intro to this particular podcast, and it fixes for dropped calls on iPhone 12 and 13. Do you know, there's one thing that really annoys me about iOS 15 at the moment, and I don't know, it might have been in the previous iOS version, but when you go into settings, Guy, you have your icon at the top, and when I go in, I don't know about you, but I'm quite quick at then clicking the Bluetooth if I want to then connect a non-Apple Bluetooth device, because sometimes I have to turn that Bluetooth thing off and then reconnect it to my next device, because I've got a bit of a I might talk about this later, actually. Anyway, when you go into the settings, it delays ever so slightly showing your details. But then just as you're about to hit the Bluetooth button, it all moves down because it then expands and shows your icon and your details. It winds me up no end. Got a few complaints about Apple at the moment because my iPod's not recognizing my my iPad's not recognizing my fingerprint. I put a new fingerprint in. I've restarted it. Not working. It's a few things, Apple, which are not working. I'm not a happy bunny. Anyway, I'll move on. That's me done. Apple's plan to pay 100 million to settle. Oh, I've done that. Oh no, Apple's plan to pay 100 million to settle developer lawsuit gets preliminary approval from judge. Back in August, Apple said that it would pay out 100 million and make several changes to the App Store to settle a class action lawsuit brought about by developers, and the settlement offer received preliminary approval yesterday from Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers. There you go. Thought you'd be happy to hear me tell you that.
I'm delighted.
Apple employee who led the hashtag Apple II protest has left after a settlement. Yes, we'll move on.
Bye.
Apple guy apparently is working towards a fully autonomous car with no steering wheel or pedals, aiming to launch. When do you think? I mean, that's quite ambitious, isn't it, really?
Yeah, no, next month.
No, you're
December.
You're being a bit stupid now, aren't you? 20, but even this I think is stupid. 2025.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Apple employees expected to return to offices in February. Got to follow up. I think I've got to follow up.
Hold on. That was, let's see, it was August 1st and then November 1st and then November 15th and now it's February. So they'll definitely be back in the office by July.
Well, the funny thing is, I've seen another piece which says, so this is Apple employees expected to return to the offices in February. The follow-up story I read was Apple offices due to open in March. It's just brilliant. I love it. Apple has released a watch OS 8.1.1 with a fix for Apple Watch Series 7 charging issue. Apple shares hit an all-time new intraday and closing high, which was at $157.87. Have you seen the a fun new A Dozen Eggs video shot on iPhone 13 on YouTube from Apple guy?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I watched it. I thought, okay, yeah, it's quite good that it was all shot on an iPhone. Move along.
See, now I got to find it. Damn it.
Well, yeah, I kind of stopped watching it halfway through saying, yeah, this is good. We know it's good, but it ain't going to be something I'm going to do, boy. You'll see. Only a small fraction of iPhone users will use the self-service repair program, a study suggests. So Apple have offered it to you, but probably know full well that it's not going to happen. Guess what?
No, it's going to be mostly third parties that bring phones in for repair.
Yeah.
Which is what that was all aimed at anyway, really.
Apple shares guy hit a new all-time intraday and closing high at $160.55. Just keeps going up. Again. Apple has celebrated the opening of the Grove Apple Store in LA with Ted Lasso.
Oh, you mean the actor?
Yes. Not well.
Okay.
Well,
since he's not a real person. No, the actual Ted Lasso showed up.
I'm going to do after this show. I'm now going to do a Google search for a Ted Lasso and see if I can find him.
Oh, I'm sure somewhere in the world there is a Ted Lasso, and he hates his life right now.
I bet he does. Anyway, that's the end of Gaz's snippet. With the actual Ted Lasso.
Funny, he doesn't look like that on TV.
Yeah. You don't have a moustache. You have a moustache on TV. Where is it?
He did. It's gone now. He's like, no.
Yeah. I've had it for 40 years. I'm shaving the damn thing off.
What is wrong? There's something wrong with you people.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got no link. It does say there's a link in there, but that's an old one. So
that's from a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this segment, Gaz.
I think it is. So
all right. So
I think everybody should stand by, and we'll be giftily gifting back in point deux. Hi, everyone, and welcome to point two or part two or d. That's 6 of this week's Mighty MyMac podcast.
Oh, do.
Come on, guy. Keep up.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm a failure because I haven't got a brain.
No, this is what was going on in my head.
Genius. That's what it is. Sheer genius.
And I think, actually, that with the Christmas period coming up, Guy had an absolutely fantastic idea to come up with Christmas gifts or holiday gifts.
No other podcast ever
does anything
guessed.
like this. Yes, but here's the point.
Not even Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices that has done at least 2 or 3 of these.
No, but here's the point. They always do them too late. We're doing it in November to give you time to get the stuff.
Actually, Chuck's group has done it already. Also.
They don't listen to Chuck.
They like us better.
Apart from Chuck,
kidding.
Most podcasts don't do it soon enough.
True. Yeah. All right. Well, we're just going to get right into it after wasting all that time. There's quite a bit of stuff in here, and a lot of it is or some of it is audio related because I'm an audio idiot. If you do podcasts or if you do anything related to audio and microphones, there are basically 2 types of boom arms that you can get. One is like an overhead boom arm, which is kind of like this one here. The other one is a low profile boom arm that instead of being high and coming down, it starts low and comes up, which to me, I think is a much better solution. I'm not using it at the moment because it's on a different microphone, but it's a much better solution. Trust me on that one. And there's one here by a company, but they tend to be very expensive. I've seen some over $300.
And Guy, a lot of people will be going, "Oh, they're not going on about audio again." Actually, in the current world where a lot of people work from home, having a boom arm for a mic because you're doing lots of conferences could actually be quite useful. So don't just throw that idea out of the pan because you don't do anything audio related. If you do meetings
like a podcast,
if you're doing meetings at home, it could still be useful because I've used this mic certainly when I've gone to meetings because it's a much better sound as well. So
especially compared to the microphones that are usually built into like laptops and monitors, and even most webcams don't have very good microphones. So this is the Vivo low profile boom arm. There will be links to all of the things that we're talking about here in the show notes. It's about $80 US.
Yeah, can I just say, I think the links are going to be US Amazon, so you might have to pick up the name and see if it gives you a conversion to your country, or just pick up the name of the item and then obviously search for that in your local. Not particularly Amazon, because you can often buy this equipment from other places other than Amazon.
Yeah, especially you don't have to get it from that big conglomerate.
Yeah, especially if you want to pay with Visa.
Well, why don't you take the next one there? That's not audio related.
This is an Apple Sports Bands, or these are Apple Sports Bands. Now, actually, this is really quite useful for me because, Guy, you may not be able to see this, but actually this sports band that I've got here, which I've had now, this is a 4, and I got it when it first came out. So what's that? 3 years old?
3 years ago? Yeah.
4 years old? 4 years old? 3 years old. The sports band has been brilliant. I've tried lots of sports bands from different companies or bands from different companies, and actually, this is still the one that I go back to. However, I use this a lot and I don't take my watch off. I might twist my watch round when I'm doing painting. And now, unfortunately, my band has got lots of paint flecks on it, which mostly has come off, but I'm starting to have to scratch it a little bit to get some others. So, I may well just use this link to get my get my new sports
A new
band.
one. And there's like 5 or 6 different colors as well.
There's more than that. I can see on here 2, 4, 6, 8 different colors, even with the product red. So yeah, cool.
Which is usually like $10, 10% more. What I think is what they kind of charge for the product red stuff. But it's going to a good cause.
No,
so,
actually, this is exactly the same color. What's interesting though, Apple in the US store are allowing you to buy these on 0% finance. So $490 for a band. It's a bit expensive. No, it's not that. It's not that.
Just get one of each. Why not?
So, but again, just to say, you'd think that it's expensive, even $50 for a sports band, but this has been brilliant. So, and a lot of the others that I've bought, which are cheaper, they haven't lasted and they've not been as comfortable. So I do like it.
Next up, I have, this again is audio related, the Triton Fedhead microphone booster, which you wouldn't use with a microphone like this, which is a condenser microphone. That's the EM91C that I'm using this week. But if you have a dynamic microphone and it's XLR related, the great thing about the Fedhead and things and the Cloud Lifter and some of those others is it gives you like a good 25 dB boost in signal without having to overuse your whatever preamp it is that you're using. And it's like $90. There are some that are cheaper. There are some that are more expensive. But the Triton Fedhead is a well-known name and worth it if you need something like that.
Okay, the next one is HomePod Minis, and this is definitely on my Christmas list for sure. Absolutely, it is. But
they're great. I got 2 of them. They're fantastic.
Have you? I think I'm just a little bit unsure about the power of them. The output. But if you say they're good enough, then they're good enough for me, Guy.
They're oddly loud. I will tell you that, because you look and they're so tiny, and you look at them and you think, what kind of volume can I get out of this? And then you plug them in and you start using them, and you're like, yeah, that's a lot of volume.
Cool.
And you can get by with 1, but I would actually suggest 2. I use 2 with the TV set that we have.
Well, that's what I'd like to use them with a TV set, but I've actually got a bar, a sound bar.
Sound bar.
I think it's a bit.
Didn't even think to put one of those in here.
Yeah. Anyway,
those are great too. All right. Well, maybe next year for 2022 we'll talk about sound bars. Next up, another audio related product, the Behringer UMC 22 audio interface. This is about $80. This gives you 2 inputs, 1 XLR, which you would use with like microphones, and 1 instrument input. The Behringer makes probably the best audio interfaces in the budget range. And considering what prices are like right now for most things electronic, this was probably going for about $50 prior to COVID, but $80 for an interface like this, and I use its big brother, the UMC 404, and have for years, and it's held up very well, and I really like it.
That's cool. So, what's going on here? My Twinternet's gone a bit funny. So, the next one on the list, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. The next one on the list is the Mophie 3-in-1 stand for MagSafe charger. I've got to say, this is selling out pretty quick, so you might struggle to get hold of one of these in time for Crimbo, if I'm honest, because delivery in the US is at 6 weeks, and in the UK it's also sold out, so you're gonna have to check availability on this.
If it's in 6 weeks and you want one of these, better go soon.
Yes. So it can charge your phone, it can charge your watch, and it can charge your AirPods. It's about $89, £85, something like that. So yeah.
I rounded all these prices up a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. So I think that's for those people who want it, Mophie have got a good name in charging on that stuff. So go for it.
And the next thing I have on the list is probably the least expensive, and I'm going to show you what the product looks like. It's the OnStage microphone foam ball. You would use one of these to help prevent plosives and S sounds and things like that for a microphone, and it looks like this, and that's $4 right there just for this little piece of foam. But it does a pretty good job. And I guess you got this next one. I don't know if you're looking at it. I
Yes.
looked at it and thought that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so this is the Belkin magnetic car vent mount with Pro with MagSafe. So basically, it's got some fingers in the back of the mount, which then go into your air vents and slide on and stick to your air vents. Which, if you want to keep your phone cool, if it's in the summer and you've got your aircon on, great. If it's in the winter and you got your heat on, might not be so good. That's what I'm just saying.
Might not work
I'm
as
just
well.
saying. I'm just saying. But actually, just to slot it in, and if you've not got a place to put your phone, then this is quite useful. The fact that it's got the MagSafe mount. Just remember, this isn't charging your phone. It's just so it holds it in place, folks.
Right.
Not at that price anyway.
Okay, I'm going to take these next three as one.
Okay. Yeah. I see why.
The Mackie EM91C, which is this right here, which a condenser microphone for about $60. It's actually a pretty good mic. The Superlux TM58 dynamic microphone for $30. It's not on par with like the Shure SM58. It's not as good as that, but it's also like 1/3 the price of the Shure SM58. And the Superlux is one of the microphones on my short list that I have in my travel case because they're relatively small and they sound pretty good. And this last one I also have, and I wish I hadn't gotten it until now. And it's the Zoom ZDM-1 dynamic microphone. It's currently on sale for $50. Regular price is $80. So that's a significant amount of money off on a really, really good dynamic microphone. So check that out. And why don't you take the next one?
Well, I'm going to take the next two as one.
Okay.
A little bit the same reason you took the last three together, and that's because it's the AirPods 3rd generation and AirPods 2nd generation. They're still both available, the AirPods 3rd generation are of course available because they're new from the Apple site, but the 2nd generation are still available also, and there's a difference of about $50. Between the two. I think you need to do some comparisons to see exactly what you get extra. I think longer battery. It's a slightly changed design. They've got the adaptive EQ, and so there's a few things with I think the dynamic range comes into the new AirPods as well. But $179 for AirPods 3rd and 2nd generation. And these prices are all also from the Apple store. You may be able to get better prices if you shop around, though very often with Apple stuff, you will struggle to do that.
Yep. Next up is kind of a fun thing. It's Hanes t-shirts, but they have these like graphic designs on them. And the two that kind of took my fancy, there was one with the spinning wheel that you see when your computer is locked up going, I'm thinking. And that's kind of what this says. I'm thinking with the spinning wheel. And the other one is a cat in space chasing a taco. Which for some reason I really like. And they've got a bunch of different ones in various sizes. The prices vary between, I guess, $5 and about $22, not counting shipping. And the link that you'll see is all on, these are all for Amazon. But they look like, and Hanes is a good brand for a t-shirt. So if you need some funny and weird t-shirts, you can check that out.
The next one is the Music Cozy Sleep Headphones. This is a Bluetooth headband for sleeping headphones with a sleep mask. It's got wireless sleep mask earbuds for side sleepers. Now, the funny thing is, Guy, I'm not sure. The pictures that I'm seeing of this is quite funny. If you wake up in the middle of the night because someone's poking you in the middle of the head, it's because it looks like there's the power button and the plus and minus volume buttons are right in the front, in the middle of your forehead. So if you see somebody,
They may want to hear the same song you're listening to. It's like,
But
turn up that Christmas music.
They're about $25. Good. Fun.
Yeah, I used one of these, and then I put on the Best of Metallica, and I couldn't sleep at all. Maybe I'm just not using it right.
Yeah, you've got to use it with the right sort of audio guy. Let's put it.
Led Zeppelin.
Well,
maybe something a little lighter.
Why not this podcast?
Oh, won't even need a sleep mask for that. Next up, we have the. Go ahead. What
I was going to say, why don't you take the next one? Yeah.
Okay. The Nano Leaf Essentials A19 Smart 60 watt LED light bulb 3-pack. This is about $50, and you can change the color and the brightness of these bulbs to pretty much anything that you want through probably the Home app. I don't know what else to say about it. They're smart bulbs.
I think that's enough said. Now, the next item. Do you have a Mac? Do you have a Mac Pro? Do you have a Mac Pro? If you do, why don't you put on your wish list the Radeon Pro W6900X MPX module? It's a mere $6,000.
Yeah, I was going to put this under stocking stuffers.
Yeah, well, that's all it'd fit in.
I couldn't fit it in the Bentley.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an extreme Christmas present. But hey,
just
why
a little
not?
bit.
Why not?
When I saw that on the Apple site, it was like, okay, that's got to go in there. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's got to go in there. Next up is the Rotor Riot Lightning connected game controller. This is a Bluetooth phone game controller. Kind of looks like the Xbox and PlayStation controller, so you can play various games on your phone. There's like a little clampy thing that holds onto the phone, so it's like a all-in-one unit. So you just move it around and do whatever it is that you want to do, and it's $50. So if you play a lot of games on your phone, go grab one.
Is it just for the phone? Can you not connect it to your Apple TV as well?
You probably could. I mean, it's Bluetooth, so why not?
I was just saying, comparing it to the Nimbus, because you can do the same thing with the Nimbus as well. But
yeah,
but that's a bit more expensive, I think. So I'm just wondering whether you can only connect this to your phone. But go over and take a look and see what you find. Next is AirTags. Have you got any AirTags? Have you tried any AirTags?
I do not, but I am. The more I hear about them, the more I want to go and get a 4-pack.
I'm hearing you want to get a 4-pack. Yeah, good.
Yeah, put them on the cats.
Yeah. Yes.
Just show them.
Yeah, see who they're fighting at night. Yeah, I'm hearing lots and lots of people liking them and using them, and yeah, I may eventually splash out and get a set, but I'll have to put it on my Christmas list, Guy. That's a good idea, isn't it?
That's exactly what this is all intended for.
Excellent.
I will take the next two, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't combine these automatically. The Logitech Combo Touch iPad keyboard for the latest iPad Pros and Air. It's like $199 to $229, depending on which one you need. And the great thing about this is you can connect it to the iPad. You can disconnect the keyboard. It's got a little touch. What would you call that? You can like a trackpad. It's got like a trackpad built in, and it basically can kind of turn your iPad into a laptop-ish.
I haven't got mine
kind of
because
device.
I left it in the other room, but I love mine. I use it all the time.
Oh, you have one like this?
Yeah. In fact, it's the not the Folio. Which one are you looking at the moment? Did you go for the first
Combo
one?
Touch?
Yeah, that's exactly the one I've got.
Really? And you like it? Okay, well, there you go.
It does the case itself and the stand, which is brilliant, and it's still adaptable. I've had it, and it's had some real abuse. Here's the stand at the back, and I really give it some hell, and it still works absolutely perfectly. The only thing is the case which you get with it and that stand, and then when you put your keyboard on, does make it a bit weighty, does make it a bit heavy, but you can whip it off and put it on, and it lights up as well. I think it's a cracking little keyboard.
Oh, it's got backlighting for the keys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that same vein, there's the Logitech Folio. Now, this one I saw, and I was kind of like, ooh, if I was in need of a smaller iPad, this would have really tempted me. The Logitech Folio Touch for the iPad Pro 11-inch and 4th generation Air. It's $160. And it basically, you can fold it in pretty much any direction you want, and it'll still serve you breakfast. It's a great looking little keyboard. And again, you can use your iPad and just use the on-screen keyboard, but it's not the greatest experience. Having an external keyboard will make you much more proficient in using your iPad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to take that next one there, Mr. Cash.
Okay, webcams. Logitech really, I think, still have the best name in webcams, and the one I'm using is a C920, but I've had it for a long time, and I often use the mic on it as well. It's got 2 microphones on each side. I don't use it for doing this show, but I've used it for other stuff, and it's been okay. I wouldn't, I'd never match it to the mic that I've got here. But if you're desperate and you need something, you're out and about, bingo, it's perfect. So they do the C920 or C930 series. Go and have a look and pick which one you want, really. But the C920, the Pro, is currently $60 from Logitech. So yeah,
and everyone who panicked and drove up the prices because everybody ran out and bought webcams last year, that's pretty much done. So if you need a new webcam, the prices have come down finally.
Yeah.
The last thing I have, and this is more like this is literally like a stocking stuffer kind of gift. The Elago iPods 1 and 2 case covers with multiple colors. So you can send someone a pink one and an orange one, and they can use part of it for the upper part of the case and part of it for the lower part of the case. And it's like $5 to $7 for each one of these. So if your kids have the 1st or 2nd generation AirPods, just get them a couple of these and throw it in their stockings. It's a nice, cheap gift.
It is. I agree with you.
Oh, and I'm glad you're saying that, and that I'm just kind of wasting time.
You're filling
where I needed to go. I am.
You're filling. Well, guess what? I'm nodding my head.
You are.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
It's time for
Gaz's tip. Now, although the second part of this tip won't work actually on the on your iPad with a combo touch keyboard, the Command tab does actually work on the keyboard. So you can actually do the same thing with the iPad. It's pretty good, actually. So on your Mac, Command tab switches your windows, folks. Don't know if you've ever tried it. You can just scroll through. And I think from memory, if you press Shift, yes, that's right, you can actually go backwards. So if you press Command and then Tab, it brings up the list of all of the applications you've got open. And you can just tab through them. And as I say, if you've got a long list or you go too far, press Shift and the tabbing process goes backwards. Now, remember, folks, Command plus Spacebar brings up Spotlight, and you can do things in Spotlight like giving you the exchange rate or the time in another place. It's like having your personal assistant at the end of your fingertips, isn't it?
And they won't complain. They won't complain that they're at the end of your fingertips.
No, they
Nobody
won't.
likes that.
So I'm nodding.
There's lots of head nodding.
Hit it. Yes. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's the end of Gaz's tips.
Is that the end of the tip?
Will you let me finish? Now,
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
I forget that you have to add all of those. It gets longer and longer and longer and longer. Now, for Pitt's sake, Guy, for Pick's sake, Guy.
Oh, you're waiting on me to give you my for Pick's sake. Yeah, as I was talking about much earlier in the show, much earlier for you than for us, the Leilani May Horse Rescue. They do wonderful work saving perfectly good horses from slaughterhouses. They offer rehabilitation services and classes in caring for horses. And they work pretty much off donations and sponsorships. So if you can, please check out their website, which is LeannaMayHorseRescue.com. And of course, there'll be a link in the show notes. And they have several horses that are available for sponsorship. And they just do wonderful things. And seeing the kind of care that they put in to a lot of these animals which were severely abused before they came here. It was just wonderful to see. And I'm glad people like this exist and that they're there to take care of animals that can't do it for themselves.
Cool. Good. Well done. Well said, sir.
And that's, I think we're getting kind of down to the nitty gritty here.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Yeah.
But speaking of sponsorship, Gaz.
Yes.
If you would like to support some of the things that I do, you can go to patreon.com/MacParrot and leave and make a donation. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or you can go to PayPal and pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. And Gaz, if people wanted to contact you and say things, I was going to try to say something funny and just nothing came to mind. It was
Nada.
blank verse. It was like
Nada.
the brain went, no, I got nothing. You just got to tell him
well,
it was contact information.
All they've got to do is send an email to gazjz@mymac.com or on the Twitters, twitter.com/gazmaz, or both Guy and Gaz on the Twitters, which is twitter.com/Guy and Gaz, GUYANDGAZZ.
Cars.
You can also send an email to feedback@mymac.com. That's FWDBACK at mymac.com. Now,
Guy says,
what does he say?
Guy was paid his 75 grand.
Does Guy say that really?
Do we know it was a guy?
I think
I like to go with Guy.
I would. Yes, yes.
his name was Guy.
Guy?
No fooling.
Yeah.
You remember Guy?
Yes, if you want.
An email from Guy.
How would they do it?
Oh, just go to that email client and use either podcast@vertshark.com or guy@mymac.com. You can find me on the Twitters. I am Mac Parrot or Vertshark over there on the Twitters. And there is a parrot being chased by a shark right now as we speak. You can also contact us by going wow. Holy free holies. You can go to YouTube and just look up Vertshark. Yeah, Vertshark is like, what am I calling it now? Vertshark. And do a like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. All you got to do, it's so very, very easy. And of course, vertshark.com is the website that you can see all of the audios and all of the videos. And we have a Skype number that almost got canceled without me knowing it. And real quick, I should have brought this up and I almost forgot.
Hang on a minute then.
Stop the presses!
Yeah, this is breaking news. I got a notification from Skype that my credit card had been refused to update my Skype stuff. And it was like, what the hell? So I went and I looked. And sure enough, the credit card that I use for Skype had gotten flagged because I used that credit card when I parked the car in Durham at the Durham People's Performing Arts Center, whatever they call it. And it was like, well, we don't know if this is legit. It's like, it's a parking thing. And why didn't you they didn't contact me. My bank did not contact me to say, we're flagging this. And it wasn't until my card got denied someplace else that I found out about it. But I was like 2 days away from having this number that we have been using for 12 years that so few people know. So you should use this number just in case, because it could disappear tomorrow. And that number has...
And they'd be so disappointed.
It's taken me a long time. I know. It took me a long time to get there, Gaz.
Yes.
But that Skype number is 1 or +1 703-436-9501. That number again is 1 or +1 outside of the United States, 703-436-9501. And if a 1 or a +1 is just too taxing for you, And obviously, based on the number of calls we get, it is for a number of people.
Yeah, which to me, Guy, it's just a mystery.
It is a mystery. Just call the damn number. Just go right to the Skype app and dial 703-436-9501. That's all you got to do. It is so easy. Why is it so hard for you people? 703-436-9501. For the love of God, call that number. Not that we're begging you to do so. We don't care. Don't call it. Don't call that number.
Gaz doesn't care. Guy does.
Reverse psychology, Gaz.
Oh, sorry.
I'm saying this softly so they can't hear me.
Okay. I'll remember that next time.
Yeah, boys. Kidneys.
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 Okay.
But I would like to say.
Oh, yes. You just got in there then. I nearly beat you to it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all so very, very much for downloading and listening. Listening. Do it with a straight face. To the MyMac.com podcast for nearly we're coming up on 12 years. Gaz and I truly, truly appreciate the fact that you have taken the time to do so. As much as we kid around, we are overwhelmed and befuddled as to why. But thank you anyway. And Gaz, I think that all of those people are good enough. They listen to our show. So the smart enough part, unless they're listening, they may be listening to it ironically. In which case, it's like, I don't really enjoy it, but it's like my weekly therapy session.
Yeah, well, it's definitely yours.
Still make them smart. Yeah, definitely. Still makes them smart enough. And that Wilf gone it. Woof, Wilf, woof, woof, Wilf. People like us.
Schwarzfreitag, Frekelfung is meant to see Bosunder. I went Liverpudlian there. Von Diane get was soll haben Gravet vet durch nicht spending is. Yes. Guy.
Yeah.
How do you get a baby astronaut to sleep? You rocket.
Yes. Victory is mine. Victory.
End.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on home and go home.